making your consistent phone calls. Well, okay, there were two things you mentioned. You mentioned finding new contacts and phone calls. I'm guessing when you say to hostesses that you probably mean both finding hostesses and making them hostesses and then hostess coaching. Is that
correct?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, if you were doing those two things consistently, would you automatically earn the Disney trip?
Oh, that's good. Yes. Yes.
She's this close
to Disney. So it's really not an issue that you're going to earn Disney because you're making it happen, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But okay, this is the thing. Okay. This is just what I have found that has happened when I've earned trips, because I've earned a couple, is that when you push really hard and you don't work smart, but you work hard to get that trip and then you earn the trip and then you go, okay, and you just like kind of want to get Pampered Chef and then I'll F you, I don't want to do anything for a while. I mean, you can burn out. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so if we can create consistency so that it's just an automatic thing and then you automatically have parties the day after the trip is earned and you just keep going and now you're earning money in addition, you've got to have goals besides the trip.
Right.
Okay? I'm just going to be real honest with you. You have to realize, I have this recorded. It's just, you have to realize the companies put those carrots out there to get you to do what they want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
They're also rewarding you. It's not completely selfish. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you've got to keep your goals in the forefront of your mind.
Right.
Okay. And Disney, I get that's totally something you want, but I think an income and feeling successful also has to do with what you want. Is that true? Like, do you want a consistent income with Pampered Chef? Did I freeze?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me ask again. Is having a consistent income with Pampered Chef, is that on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is that?
It's the income itself is probably like a 6 or 7.
Okay. What's it?
I'm not so worried about that.
You're not as worried about that. Well, then you can do it the way you're doing it then. Does that?
Well, no, because the income itself isn't what I'm like focused on. It's just having a
successful.
Can't even say it. Successful business in general. Have a consistent calendar. Meet the goals of having 2 or 3 shows a week. That's what I want. What I want to be focused on.
Okay, so this is what you've got to get in your heart, Jen. Okay, if you don't know why you want that consistent 2 to 3 parties a week, you'll finally just go, this is just hard work. You got to know why, and it can be as simple as, I like feeling successful. I like knowing I can do something hard. Okay, and if that's it, then you have to have a mental image of what that person looks like that you're trying to become. Okay, I have one gal and she has a very specific picture of the successful businesswoman that she has in her head and a picture she printed out, and this is what she feels like she's going to look like and feel like when she gets to this point in her business. Okay, so if it's about personal growth, that's fine too. Is it still bleeping? Did I freeze?
Yeah.
And it's, you guys are smooth on your side, so it's unfortunately the connection on your end. So, okay, Jen, back to what I was saying. You have to know why you want those 2 to 3 parties, and if it's personal growth, that's totally okay. But you need to know what person, when did I achieve it? They're having issues there. It's breaking up.
Maybe if we log off and log back on.
You're fine on my end.
I know. It's their connection. Hang on 2 seconds.
Tom, is she freezing on your side too, or is it just us?
I think it's just on your end. Do you have more than one wireless unit on?
If your kids are on computers or laptops or whatever. Oh, no, we just totally lost him. Okay, Tom, let's hear how things are going for you, my friend.
Well, we had a real good meeting Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. Connected with 10 people. Have been in touch with them since. We're setting up times to get together and talk more.
Cool.
Which is really good. I got one meeting today already.
Cool.
So-
Okay. Tell me a little bit about what that meeting was. I don't know, that networking thing you tagged me in. How was that different?
The gift, it's completely different.
Okay.
The premises when you are talking to somebody is your agenda is out the window.
Okay.
It's really getting people to stop and really listen and really dig deep, make a deep connection with that person, and really find out what it is that at that moment, what can I do to help them at that moment?
Okay.
And it might be another connection in the room there. Maybe
Right.
someone I know there that, hey, this is someone that I think you should talk to. They've got more of that expertise, and then you make that connection with them then.
Okay.
And then it's up to that person, because this was part of the fun part is those of us who are experienced within this program, our job was to be someone that was not experienced. And so it wasn't for us to teach them, it was for us just to give them example, this is how we do it. And then we're at their mercy as to how they do it. If they go deeper, if they go deep or not. And so I'm actually reaching out to some of the other experienced people now that were part of the team, part of the production team, because we didn't really have a chance to talk at all because we're just flat out busy until the meeting started. And so now I'm starting to set up times with those people because I want to meet with some people that are experienced in this and understand it and know how to actually work with the program. And so we can create that deeper connection. And some of the people I already know, we're friends, which is kind of fun. But so yeah, no, it was really good. What was interesting was the meeting was supposed to go from 6:30 to 9, and I left at 11.
Wow.
And there were still people there. It's like, I gotta go home. I haven't had dinner yet. I'm beat. I'm tired, and M&Ms don't cut it.
So when is there the swap in?
Well, what they do,
Obviously, there has to be a point where like you're not the only one doing the listening, like that.
right.
You've been sharing too. So how did that happen? Like, how did that all transpire?
In that setting there, they have a timer, and you have 6 minutes, and then you're going to switch. So it's only a 12-minute session, and then you go find someone else that you don't know.
Okay.
Or you make that connection, then you find someone else new then. And typically, like I met with a gal yesterday, which was not part of that, just a local gal here in the neighborhood. She's a canine dog trainer that I met a couple of weeks ago. And I wanted to go through their canine place and see what they have there, because we're thinking about getting a dog. It'd be nice to know someone local that can train and board if we need to. And so we're sitting there, we're chatting and stuff. And of course, I knew what I was after from her, learning about what she was doing and stuff. And she started to sidetrack me. I go, no. I'm not done learning about you yet. She goes, oh, okay. And then I point blank asked, okay, today, what is it that it could be business, it could be, community, whatever it is. What is it that is pressing that I might be able to help you with right now?
Mm-hmm.
And she sat there for a second. She says, I can't think of anybody's ever asked me that question before, but here, I have a list of names I'm trying to find phone numbers for. And I'm going, where'd you get the list from? Well, I got it from the state. And so then we just started going through that conversation. Well, come and find out, what she's going to do, she's going to go back to the state and say, guys, any chance of getting phone numbers for these businesses? You know, otherwise he's going to spend hours trying to find phone numbers for them.
Right.
And so I just, I can look up online, go one at a time. But I said, well, why don't you ask the state? Ask the person who gave you the list. There's got to be a little bit more than that information that they can give you, because our phone numbers are all public record.
Right.
For the business.
Cell phone. Yeah.
And
Cool.
so you can go back to that and figure that out. And so yeah, that's what's fun about it, is you actually get to help that person before you leave the meeting. You've helped somebody else.
Awesome.
And not ask for anything in return. And that is hard for people to do, because you've got to put your agenda, when you walk in the door, it's got to stay outside.
Mm-hmm.
You're not there to sell anything. You're not there to do anything else but learn about them.
Right.
And then if they reciprocate, cool. If they don't, hey, you made a friend and you were able to help somebody.
Right.
And somewhere down the road, they will remember, hey, that person helped me. Back it comes in. And that's a long-term build.
Right. Cool. Okay.
Which fits more of who I am.
And you know what? I'm absolutely thrilled for you that you are internalizing these skills. Like I've literally listened, just because I usually listen to books more than I read them, to How to Win Friends and Influence People over and over and over and over, because I'm known as being bold, and I can a lot of times ask for what I want. I have to learn that, step back and focus on the other person. And I was meeting with an insurance agent. Well, we have a contract right now that I'm teaching his agents some skills. And it's funny because they're improving the skills, but they're not quite 100% sunk in. And so I was really hoping he'd extend the contract so that we could help them create the habits that we've started. So I went in and talked to him. Well, he happens to be into photography, and he takes pictures of cross-country runners, which one is my son. And
Right.
I realized, I didn't quite make the connection. And so I got to tell him how thankful I was that he'd got these pictures, because the last pictures he got was before Porter got injured. And then Porter couldn't run regionals or districts. And Porter's a freshman and number 2 on the varsity team. And
Right.
so it just sucked. I mean, it just straight out sucked that Porter couldn't run anymore. And so he got the last pictures of Porter running. And, we got to talk about pictures, and he turned the screen around and was showing me other pictures and other things he did. And, we were not talking about insurance, because quite frankly, that's not his passion. His passion definitely is more about these pictures. And then we talked about insurance, and, it's not that it was just a done deal. I still needed to add some value and make sure, he knew that I could continue to help his team. But
Right.
it definitely went over. I'm sure the fact that I care about his photography shows what I'm going to do for his team, more so than only talking about his.
Exactly. Giving value to somebody else, even though they're not expecting it. Because most networking events, that's not what is being expected at all. You're expected to get in here and give your 60-second pitch and try to sell something.
Right. Which,
And that is not what this is about.
right.
Because see, they can ask you, and I did this to one guy just for the fun of it. I didn't ask her about her business at all. I said, what do you do for fun? What is your passion? What can I help you do about your passion today that is something that you do for fun? And she stops, she looks at me. She goes, I don't know how to answer. I said, yeah, because it's not a business related question, is it? And I just totally took her out of she was not thinking about what I was saying.
Right.
And that's what's so fun about it, is it can be, you can ask them and you have no idea where they're going to come back from. They can take it someplace else than what you thought you were going to learn from them. You've got to just work with them now.
Okay. So we still have got to bridge this gap. I am absolutely thrilled for you, and what you are doing is dead on right. The next thing is taking that to then finding out, is there any chance they have any need for what you have?
Which I did on my section. In fact, there's one gal I'm trying to connect with because she told me to connect with her on LinkedIn, but I can't find her. So I got her email from the office people, and I'm trying to connect with her because she has a son who is autistic.
Okay,
And she wants to learn more about the products,
cool.
but she didn't give me her email or phone number. So it's like, okay. So she's made it hard to connect with. And I think that was her own doing. But I've sent an email to her now, so it's in the record. That's all I can do at the moment.
Okay,
But,
so let me give you a little heads up. When something like that happens, but they seem sincere at the moment, seriously, do not take it personal.
I don't.
You will, no, but listen to what the whole thing I'm saying. Work with me here, Tom, okay?
Yeah.
It's that so often, like I had, in fact, I wonder where Donna is this morning. Where is everybody this morning? I
It's
don't know
cold.
where he is. I know, but they're in their houses. I'm not asking them to walk outside to be on the call. Okay. So anyway, so Donna, she had a gal, like, she had her jewelry in this bag, and I think you might have heard this, but stopped her, talked about the jewelry, and then she tried to get a hold of her, and it just was like complicated. Then she finally did get a hold of her, and she goes, "Oh, I'm so glad you called. This and this thing happened." And I'm like, seriously, don't ever spend your time being worried about something, because most of the time something's happened. Most people are genuine and aren't blowing smoke. I mean, it's just, they just.
Well, I know that with her name, she's an Asian gal, and it's a very common name. And you get on LinkedIn, there could be 20 of them, but the photo that's there for that person doesn't match the person I was talking to. So it's like, okay, who are you? Which one is it? Which is what I asked her. So I'm trying to find out on LinkedIn, but which one is it? Can you connect with me so I can connect? I was actually trying to connect her with you.
Right.
Because she's talking about her setting goals and stuff. She has trouble doing that. So that was my benefit to her. I was trying to connect you with her.
Okay. All right. Okay. So back to Elizabeth and Jen real quick. All right, Tom, I want to know when you are ready to set a hardcore goal that this week I'm going to meet this many people and that I'm going to find this many clients this week. Okay. And it might be through networking. It might be through referrals. It might be meeting someone at Barnes & Noble. I don't know. I don't know where it's going to be, but I need to know when you are ready to set a very solid goal that this week I'm going to find this many customers, not contacts, but it's time to move over and start allowing yourself to also accomplish your goals. I am absolutely thrilled that you're moving past that. People deserve to set goals and accomplish them, because I know that's been a mental hurdle that, because of the way you're raised, it's just, that's a big hurdle to overcome.
Yeah.
So I see you mentally allowing other people to set goals, and that be okay. You got to find that switch, and it's that seed of faith, like that tiny mustard seed that doesn't look like it should turn into anything. Like, it needs to be a tiny bit of hope. Okay, that the switch isn't very big. I mean, you'll be surprised. You've got to put down a number, put it on a Post-it note, put it in 8 places in your house, in your car, whatever. And like, this week, I'm going to make this many, make this many new clients, not just contacts. We got to move to the next step for you. If this week isn't the week, that's fine. If it's next week, whatever. But I need to know when you're ready to flip that switch, because that's the bridge that we have to have to do for you. Okay. Is this the week to turn that on?
I do believe, yes, it is.
Okay. What is your number for the week for how many clients you're going to meet? How many clients are you going to write up? They're going to pay money. They're going to be new clients. I just want you focused on getting them passionate about your product. I need you to drop the recruiting, because I know, that's the goal, but you don't believe that's possible yet. That's the next switch. I need you to find how many people that are excited about your product. How many is that this week?
Let's go for 3.
3. I think it's an awesome number. Okay, I need that 3 everywhere. I need Post-it Note City in your house. I need you to annoy your wife because there's 3s on so many places. Okay? She's not going to like me as much this week. No, she will. But, okay, I need 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, God, this is how many I need. Yep, everywhere. They got to be all over that house. And you go out and you keep doing your thing just like you're doing it. Okay? But I want that on the dash of your car, and I want it in your wallet. I want it everywhere. So you see it, okay, I'm helping someone else, and I deserve to accomplish my goals too. If I believe it for someone else, I believe it for me too.
Yep. Okay.
Okay? 3, everywhere. I want to see some pictures. You're going to take a picture and you send it to me on Facebook. I'm not kidding.
I know you're not. I know you're not.
All right. Okay. All right, ladies. Okay, back to your goals, Disney, being consistent, what really needs to happen. Okay. Jen, you need to decide why you want consistent 2 to 3 parties a week. Okay. Whether it's personal growth or that money is going to go towards something, or you like how it feels to accomplish, a title, you've got to know why or you won't stick to it. Okay, do you know what that why is?
It's personal growth.
Personal growth. Okay, like I need you to know what that personal growth is so you know when you accomplished it. Like you got to be able to put that in words or quantify it. Okay, look, I did this much in sales this many months in a row. Look, I can do something harder than I thought I could.
Right.
I need that quantified. Okay. Or you just kind of keep going, am I successful? Am I successful? I don't know. I had 2 parties a week, but maybe I could have done 3. I mean, you just kind of like beat yourself up over and over again if you don't have I did X. I remember the clothing company I was with, I was determined I was going to do $10,000 in sales in a month. And the first time I did it, I'm like, dang, I did it. And then I did it again, and then I did it again. And I'm like, okay, like I'm like you, I wanted that personal satisfaction of I can do this. And to do $10,000 in sales, it's like, yeah, it is fun. Okay, that's like a number that you're like, sink your teeth into. Okay, know what you want and why. Okay, so you got the goals of the parties, and both you and Elizabeth are struggling with this a little bit, but it's getting those sales. And if you're going to go do the party, doing the party effectively. You might as well do 2 solid parties and 3 parties. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you both know that up here, but it's got to get in here and it's got to get a habit. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's that you guys have a different switch. It's like, this is a specific habit I'm going to do every time. Okay?
Well, that's I know I could do it. This month is so far has been my best month ever, and we're only halfway through the month.
Fantastic.
So, thank you. And I know the cooking shows that I've done, I haven't had a single cooking show less than $500. But a couple months ago when I was not being consistent, my cooking shows were like crap,
Right.
$200. They were just horrible. So it's just that I know that's where my goal is to be, I need to consistently hold 2 shows a week. I want to be able to hold 3 shows a week, but I need to consistently be able to hold 2 shows a week.
Okay. Now, is it consistently hold 2 shows a week, or is it consistently do $1,000 in sales?
I think it's consistently hold 2 shows a week, because I know if I do that, then I'm consistently working.
Okay.
This, and it's only going to get better. My sales are only going to increase because I'm being consistent about it.
You're right. Between the momentum and the practice, remember the pots, the quantity pots and the quality pot. That's exactly what you're talking about. Okay. And you're dead on. Okay. Now remind me, are you a variety or consistency person?
I'm more consistent.
Consistent. Okay.
A lot of variety, but I do better being more consistent.
Okay. But do you enjoy variety or consistency more?
I think I enjoy consistency more because then I'm not crazy in my head all the time.
Okay. I unfortunately, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I like variety too much and it gets me in trouble. But, so, but I really need you to digest this week and think about your why you want it. I get that you're like, I like how it feels, but there's got to be a little more to that. Like, because if you're going and your daughter goes, no, I don't want you to go, mom, or, or, oh, I'm just tired or wore out, or man, I don't feel like talking to this person in the grocery store, and those things that would help you do that, like you got to know why it's worth doing those, why it's worth the pain. Because there's a little pain associated with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You like it when you get there and you do the show and you're like, fine, because then you're on fire and you're doing your thing and you're in your groove and you book more parties and it's just like you said, the ball gets rolling and it's not that hard to keep pushing it, right? So, but those little things are the things that keep the ball rolling. Those are the things, the hostess coaching, the talking to the person at the grocery store. Those are the things that are more easy to avoid. You're not going to not show up to a party, but
Right.
you may quit fueling the fire that you have. Does that make sense? Okay. So I really want to know next week what your why is.
Okay.
I need you to really think about that. Okay. So, Elizabeth, sorry, I had a brain fart for 2 seconds. So you've been talking about hostess coaching and being more consistent about, giving those hostesses the attention and the help that they need so that you have higher sales. What are your thoughts on that? Like you just had a really good party. Was it Saturday? No, I don't know. Which day did you text me? Forgive me. Sunday. Okay. So what made that one work and how did it feel and how can it motivate you to keep doing the stuff you want to do?
Because she was on top of it, not me. I totally forgot I had that show. Oops. But it made me feel, it was good. It was exciting that I finally had a show. I mean, it was the first cooking show I've held that was like anything more than $200 in like 4 months. It's ridiculous, like what has happened with my business. And so it's nice to have that feeling back again.
Good.
So, I mean, I sent her I sent her, all her host stuff. And so she was on it. And I got 5 more hosts like her because she was really on it. And she just placed like $500 worth of product and only spent $150. So, I mean, like that's it.
Okay. So, 1 is finding quality hostesses and 2, so have either of you been able to try the hostess coaching sheet? Have you created your own hostess coaching sheet with who do you know who? Like, have you made this up for Pampered Chef yet?
I've started working on my questions, but I'm not done with it yet because I'm trying to come up with.
Okay, so you
$10.
were in the same house this morning. You're not leaving till it's done and it's emailed to me.
Okay.
Right?
Yes, Michelle.
You two are a powerful force together. You're so lucky to have each other. So lucky because you got these 2 great minds, okay? I want those 5 questions. I want to see it laid out. I want to see your names on the top. I want to see you having the schedule for your hostesses. I want this in every hostess packet from now on, and you have a conversation about it, okay? Because I know you're going to be glad you did, right? Because I know what your goals are, okay? This baby has to be done by today, all right? Because you have a few more shows to help you get to that next level. this is the thing, okay?
Well done,
All of you are starting to do things more effectively and wiser. All of you are in different areas, but you're all working smarter. You're getting the questions, you're getting why these things are important. It's about deciding which parts of your business, using your tracker, and keep making the habits. Okay? You're smarter. And so we sometimes can take for granted, I'm wiser now, I know some more things, but then we don't make them consistent habits. Okay? You've got education, now let's make it consistent. That's what your next step is. You've got to get those trackers out. I want to know by in the next hour what's on that tracker. Okay? You got to be consistent, because this is why I don't do only big weekend things. When I do start doing big weekend events, it will always be, the only way this is going to stick is if you keep working with me. Like, I can give you more information at once and get like a big plan going for you faster at once by doing a big weekend thing. But I promise you, most people aren't going to apply any of it, or maybe 10% of it, if they don't have follow-up. Okay? So that's why, like, I could do big weekend gigs and charge the $600 and give you all the information at once. But it's the habits. It is changing the habits that makes you different. That's the thing. When people look at me and go, why do you accomplish this, this, and this? Or how did you accomplish this with your business? One, yes, it's a little bit of a numbers game, but we don't want it just to be a numbers game. We really want to connect with people. And if they don't need what we have, it's okay, but we still made a new friend. But the other thing is, I just made it consistent. I just was determined. I knew how many parties I had to book to do $10,000 in sales. Okay. And I was just that determined. But after you get consistent, it doesn't hurt as much. But Elizabeth, I've totally done the same thing as you. I've had that high of booking a bunch of parties and then not done my hostess coaching. Okay. And it's just a habit. You've got the habit of booking parties. You've got the habits of recruiting. This is just one more habit. You totally can do it. Okay. Isn't that cool to see? It's like you've established new habits. You can keep going and making more, so that your whole business is growing instead of it getting kind of lopsided and warped. Okay. So decide what those habits are and get those on those trackers. Are you using your tracker, Tom?
Not in that regard, no. I did look at it last week, and I go, okay, there's nothing on here about business.
Okay.
And so it's just back to what I always did, and that's just get out and meet people and talk to people.
Okay, but that's not all you need to do anymore. You know more than that.
Right.
Okay, so I want to know what 2 things out of the 4 are business things on your tracker in the next couple hours. Okay. 2 business habits need to start being established.
Yeah, find where I put it.
Well, it's in the packet. You can print off another one.
Well, it's true.
Okay. All right. So let's get to our class, because we're way off here. But it's okay, because this is what needs to happen. Okay. Today we're talking about customer service. Sorry, I have a tickle in my throat. Okay. So one of the things that's so important is the power of words. The power of words are critical. And, you know, it's so interesting. I spoke 2 Sundays ago, and there was this lady there. She'd been in Mary Kay for 25 years and had never written down goals, ever. I know, right? Like,
She must be my friend.
yeah. So 25 years, never set goals. And then another lady, she was like, it was so interesting. She says, because I tell people, what are you really thinking about? You know, we talk about that pink elephant. Don't think about a pink elephant. Don't think about a pink elephant. Don't think about a pink elephant. And she's like, I thought I was focused on my goals. And then as you talked and you explained how you need to actually say what you want to have happen versus say what you don't want to have happen. Don't do this. Don't eat chocolate. Don't be scared. Don't be this. Don't, don't. Because the thing is, I promise you, Elizabeth, I am 99.9% certain what you're saying is, oh, don't forget to do my hostess coaching again. It's like this, like negative, don't screw it up again. Don't screw it up again. Don't screw it up again. That's what you're saying, right? It might be a different word than screw it up, but that's what you're repeating in your head. And I do the same thing sometimes. Okay, totally do the same thing sometimes. So be nice to yourself. It's okay. But oh my gosh, this is the thing. It's like all of us do this. Don't mess it up. Don't this. Don't that. Okay, you've got to focus on what you want. Tom, you have this little bug in your head about whether or not you get to set goals and what you're allowed to want. And you just have got to start saying it different. And you got to fake it right now till you make it. Because your brain's going to tell you, no, you can't. You're going to fail again. You're going, no, 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 no. And you're going to put that brain in line and you're going to change your verbiage. Okay? So this is what I want you to do. We're going to do a little test here. I'm going to say some words. And at the end of the words, I want you to write down on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I feel awesome, 1 being, oh my gosh, I feel like crud, okay? I want you to write down how the words make you feel, okay? And then I'm going to say another set of words, and you're going to put down scale of 1 to 10, how those words make you feel, okay? Everybody got it?
Ready.
Okay. So I just want you to just internalize, just sit and just listen and just really listen to my voice and listen to these words. So the words are dark, uncomfortable.
Hang on a second. So scale of 1 to 10, 1 being bad, 10 being
No,
good.
at the very end of all the words, after I read all of them. Don't write down anything until I'm done. I will say, now write down a number. Just listen to the words.
So, but still the scale 1 to 10 is 1 being bad,
Worst.
10 being good. Okay.
Good. 10 good.
All right. Thank you.
All right. So dark, uncomfortable, sick, ugly, tired, dirty, broken, damaged, failure, evil, pain, sad, anxiety, depression, lonely, hopeless, and heartbreak. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling right now? Write down your number.
Try not to laugh.
No laugh. Write down the number. Everybody have their number? Okay. The next set, light, comfort, health, beautiful, peaceful, energetic, clean, good, complete, successful, glorious, love, joy, hopeful, freedom, friendship, faith, and calm. On a scale of 1 to 10, write down your number. Everybody got it? Okay. So what was your number on the first set of words?
That was easy. It's a 1.
A 1? How was it for you ladies? 1. Okay. How was it? What was the number on the second set of words?
10.
10. What was it, Elizabeth?
7.
7. Tom?
That was a 10.
10. Okay. So that's a big range. Okay. You have to understand that what you're saying to yourself, saying to your customers, saying to your kids, saying to everyone, affects your energy. After all the bad words, anybody want to go get on the phone and just feel really successful that day?
Let's go.
Probably not, right? But the second set of words, doesn't it make you feel a little more like, okay, I can do something. I can do something hard. Okay, I can do this. Okay? We really need you to be nice to yourselves. Okay? If you need to, at the end of your day, write down a list of things you did accomplish. Because you accomplished more than you realized. Okay? If you survived a really hairy day, you know, with either stuff you needed to do at home or kids or something, and maybe you didn't get done as much as you wanted with business, but you still accomplished something, you got to realize you made a choice. You put your family first, or you did this first instead, okay? And if you want it to be a little bit different, then when you're journaling, you make that plan what you're going to do different the next day, okay? All right, so let's talk a little bit about customer service. The other words that make a huge difference in how we feel are words of gratitude, okay? Saying thank you. There's a great book called 365 Thank Yous. This gentleman's life was lousy. He was a lawyer, and his business was kind of failing, not because he didn't have clients, but because there was a recession and people weren't paying him as well, as, you know, weren't paying their bills. And he was really determined to be a lawyer that didn't gouge people. So he wouldn't hound people, and he didn't have really outrageous prices, but he was in the middle of a second divorce, and he was living in this crappy apartment, and things were going downhill. And he had this experience around New Year's, and in that, he decided he was going to take on this challenge of writing 365 thank yous. And he didn't quite get it done in a year. I think it took about 4 months past that. But the miracles that happened, and how you saw when you're grateful for things, when you can be grateful for what you have now, you're more likely to receive more. That it's so important that you understand this, and that giving your hostesses, giving people those thank yous, that it's a critical thing to do. Now, we definitely would, you know, we all know encouraging to do a handwritten thank you is incredibly important and incredibly effective. But even if you at least send an email, it's better to do something than nothing, okay? I am not great at writing thank yous. I want so badly to be good at it, because when somebody sends me a card and I get a thank you, I mean, I'm just like, why don't I do this? I know how good it feels. But if you can do that, but even if I've met with somebody and I get a quick thank you via, you know, Facebook or something, it's still pretty darn good, okay? But I really want you to think about the appreciation and the thank yous and the way that you can make your customers feel special, okay? It's an amazing gift to give, and it builds a lot of trust, just a ton of trust. And that's the thing, when you have trust with somebody, they'll do another party with you. They will refer you to someone else. They will be honest with you if they can't buy or can't do a party. They'll tell you honestly why, so you're not questioning. Because there's those people that try to be polite, and you're like, something's wrong there. That's not what they really meant. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to really start focusing on that. Now, one other thing that really helps when showing people both appreciation and that you care is to focus on what's called a love language. Who here has read the 5 love languages? Okay, so this one is so fun, and it's amazing when you can see this. We know the 5 love languages are words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Okay, so I have a friend, and she owns a diner. And she is so funny. She has to be words of affirmation and physical touch. I mean, she has to hug you and hug you tight every time she sees you. And she says, I love you every time I walk out the door. And she's just, and you know, you can kind of get a sense when you have that hostess and she has to hug you and she hugs all her guests. Give her a hug, even if you're uncomfortable with it, okay? Like, you gotta hug the huggers. It's just what feeds them. The other thing is gifts. Like that person, when you can see that hostess is doing everything they can to get everything free, throw in a little something extra, okay? I mean, I know you have lots of little goodies that are really inexpensive to you to just throw in extra things. Throw an extra goodie at her because it's way worth it if she's going to do another party. And one of the things is you have to get aware of the love language that you're not good at. For me, giving me a material gift, something that's wrapped up and, hand it to me, open it, I would much prefer, I'm just words of affirmation to the nth degree. I'd much prefer a card that said something nice about me, okay? But my daughter is a gift person. Oh my gosh. And it drives me crazy, which is not fair to her. Absolutely. Okay, so this is a complete confession. It's not fair to her that it drives me crazy. Because that's what makes her tick. And I can get it from the dollar store. I can get it from Goodwill. Like, I don't have to spend a lot of money on it. She still thinks, it's the greatest thing ever because, she got a gift, something that she can hold in her hands and she can open up and it's her thing. And she's not even a hoarder. Like, she keeps her room clean and she's good about it and she takes care of things pretty well. And so she isn't just a selfish brat, which is what goes through my head sometimes. And I'm like, when can you stop talking about getting things? But I can motivate her to do pretty much anything by the incentive of getting a thing, which is kind of nice to know, though. So it's just one of those things. But understanding people's love languages, your team, your customers, your hostess, it's one of those things that really, really helps you. So in your packet, you have the 5 love languages quiz. So I would love to know what your love language is. So take a minute sometime in the next week. I want your tracker is the top thing. But when you get a second, do the love language test, and I want to know what your top 2, 3 things are, okay? And when you understand those things, this is an added tool. I know Jen and Elizabeth, you guys are getting really good at giving your team challenges specific to them and following up with them. So when you start thinking about incentives, you can start changing it up. Like I have this friend of mine, she has to be a gifts person. Like the only incentive she ever does for her team or like jewelry, it's always things. It's very much things. And it's so funny because her and I are kind of the same, like quality time. It's not always the thing we're going to put on top of the list, which gets me in trouble with my husband because he is quality time. Like, I still remember there was a Sunday and I got all the kids busy and I put on his football team was on. I'm like, here's your game. Here's your snacks. I just need some mom time. I'm going for a walk. I homeschool. Okay. I don't get the 8-hour break during the day that other moms do. Okay. I just needed some time. And then I like sports. Okay. Like it's kind of a thing. He goes to craft fairs with me. I watch sports with him, but I just needed to go for a walk. I went for a walk. I came back. The TV's off. I'm like, what's going on? Well, you didn't sit here and watch the game with me. I mean, it was so like, and then there's this other time I took my friend to a craft fair and picked out the Christmas ornaments without him, and I got in total trouble for that. And I'm like, he is so quality time, which like drives me crazy because I like to be busy and have a long list of things to do, and it gets me in so much trouble. But when you understand these things about your team, the person that needs quality time and doesn't care about the gifts, boy, you go to coffee with them and you sit on the phone with them for 30 minutes and you give them that time, that's going to make them tick far more than whatever the thing is that you're going to give them, okay? Or if they're words of affirmation. But you can have literally different incentives, a variety of incentives for your team. You might have a little plaque that says, I don't know, something clever on it, then that's your thing. And it also is words of affirmation. It's just, you got to kind of mix it up and realize that not everybody has the same love language, and that will help you motivate more people. Okay. And so, Tom, this is the thing, when you're talking to people, like here you're getting to know people in very unique ways. You could pick you could fine tune a couple of questions that would reveal their motivational style. And there's some pretty good questions in the Recruit script. Have you guys read the Recruit script? Like there's some questions in there that are really good for revealing people's love language. What's the nicest thing that anyone's done for you. If they say, it's service, or they say there's a particular gift they got, or, someone come in and clean my house when I was sick for 2 weeks, or, whatever it is they mention, that's going to be a trigger as to what makes them tick, and then can make it so you're more effective in connecting with them. Okay. So this is a pretty fun tool. I should look up and see if he has a book on love languages for business, because that would be kind of a fun thing to incorporate. He probably does. I don't know. He has them on every topic, with your children, with teens, with apologies, anyway, he has them for several different themes, but it'd be fun to see if there's one on business. I should co-write a book with him, right? Something. But, so these are some things I want you to think about as you're going about. And the thing is, as you guys are improving your customer, or your hostess coaching rather, and Tom, as you're talking to people and getting to know them better, these are some tools that you can use. Okay. And these mental tools, this all adds up, and you just get more and more and more effective at what you're doing, and you make more money with less effort. Okay. So it's fun. It's just one of those things, but I need you to put this in the back of your hat and apply these other things that you're trying to get consistent at, and know that these things will come as you're getting consistent at those other actions. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Is there any questions or any brainstorming you need for us to do? It's 10 o'clock straight up.
I'm going to send you an email with some interesting information on it.
Okay. All right.
It's something I did a number of years ago, and I looked it up the other day, and I go, yep, still the same.
Okay. Do you want to tell us what it's regarding?
Discover your strengths.
Oh, cool. Okay. That sounds good. All right. Anything we can do for you ladies? Can we support you in any way to help you get that consistency you want? Do you want to send me a text every night after you've done your hostess coaching, or what can I do? No, I'm totally serious. People do that all the time. Yes, no, maybe. What's up with you, Elizabeth? You're so quiet today. Well, I know a little bit of what's up, but
I'm at a point right now where I'm done for the year.
No, you're not.
Yeah, because I have
Sorry.
basically, so right now, this next 2 weeks, I'm working on getting my January booked, and then Pampered Chef sent out, they have 3 letters that you could send out through the holidays, so you could stay in touch with your January host. So I'm going to tweak those because I don't like them. They're not Michelle style enough. So I'm going to tweak those, so I'm going to work on getting those out through the holidays, because I know, especially the first 2 weeks after the surgery, I'm not going to be able to make as many phone calls as I want, if any at all. And then it's the holidays. So we're kind of screwed for the whole December. So it's kind of, I'm at a point right now where I'm just kind of stuck, and I feel blah about it all. So.
okay. Elizabeth, I want you to take a really big deep breath. No, really. Take a deep breath. Open your mouth.
You're going to make me cry.
Okay, I'm not going to make you cry. You got 2 more weeks. Maybe I want you to send me I just want you to hold your breath, and you can cry after the class, and when I stop the recording, I'll just stop it now. Oops, not the meeting. Hang on, I pushed the wrong button.